Hey y'all, welcome to My Room Mysteries, the channel that brings you interdimensional content, which means that the readings are from a broad and expansive point of view as they are channeled through vast dimensions of space and time and therefore should resonate with you guys whenever you come across them. This is going to be iNKANYAMBA reading. So guys, right, as we've learned, life. This reality is very layered, which is why we've come to call it multidimensional, or we've come to be aware of it as multidimensional. So you could be in the middle of a situation where you are in a lot of emotional pain and you're doubting yourself and you are accusing the people around you, or you're feeling like a victim based on the people around you and so forth, right? You can totally be in that situation where you feel like the earth, like this reality is eating you alive, and at the same time there can be something else happening in the same breath, something that allows you to understand a part of yourself that will create a path out of you feeling the way you were feeling, the way you're also feeling on the other side, on another dimension of the same space where you're feeling like crap and basically experiencing a dark night in the soul. So at the same time as the dark night of the soul is happening, there's also this other part where, like I said, you have the opportunity to discover something about yourself that could free you from feeling the type of limitation that makes you feel like you're so fucked because of whatever it is that is happening to you, that makes you feel like basically scared every day when you wake up in the morning. At the same time as you're feeling that, there's this opportunity to connect to a part of yourself that holds a certain version of yourself where another story about you is taking place. And if you can connect to that story, it will it won't change what's happening where you're feeling fucked, in the sense of that, like, if you're going through a breakup, the breakup will still be happening, but the way in which you feel about the breakup, how you are reacting, the emotions that are coming up, what you are building, the version of yourself that you're building based on these emotions, that will completely change. So your reality in connection to the crappy feeling will change. Mm. Mm. Okay, so we've got you here feeling crappy and feeling like shit, feeling like the sky is falling. And then, yeah, feeling like the world is not on your side, feeling like you're losing your grip on your life. You're overthinking, and none of those thoughts are good. You feel defeated. And because of that, you're not aware of the other reality that's playing out at the same time. You're not aware of the ability to start again, how whatever is happening is giving you the opportunity to recreate yourself anew. How already, from a processing point of view, you are changing in the face of this challenge. Because even though how you see the situation may not be how you've been taught to see a certain situation, your perspective allows you to free yourself from certain burdens. It's almost like you're intuitively walking down a certain path where there's a part of you that knows that whatever is happening that is giving you anxiety and making you feel like giving up, it's exactly what needs to be happening right now because you're transitioning into this new version of yourself. A lot of you are connecting to like quantum origin versions of yourself, which is to say that a lot of you are connecting to versions of yourself that have lived before, but in more advanced civilizations, which is allowing you to find a path outside of your current dilemmas, allowing you to find a path outside of these feelings that you may have of being stuck or not knowing what to do. There's a state of surrender that is required of you where you have to accept that you currently have no control over what's happening or what happened. And that sense of accept can come with how you hate what's happening right now. That's okay. Don't try and act how you think the divine part of you wants you to act. You could never figure that out because divinity doesn't want anything. But it produces certain parts of reality based on your reactions, based on how you feel towards certain things, based on what you want. But I keep telling you guys, you can't lie to divinity. So don't try and act how you think you're supposed to act. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to weep, weep. If you need to be alone for a while, be alone for a while. If your thoughts become too dark for you, light a candle. And if you're a person that prays to God, then pray. If you're a person that speaks to your ancestors in the darkest times, then light a candle and do that. If you're a person that speaks to your guides during your darkest times, then light a candle and do that. Tell them. Tell them that you're afraid. Tell them that you're scared. Because while all that is happening, there's a path that is being created based on everything you're going through on this side. The only reason why you may not be privy to that perspective is because you're so anchored within these other emotions where you are feeling down and broken, because that frequency is much more dense. It's much more heavy. It has the ability to hold you down. Whereas I'm going to show you these cards. Like, so here we are, like these cards of anxiety and like inner war and giving up. And what's actually happening in the middle is that there's something new that is being carved out of your emotions and your current situation, because nature doesn't waste anything, including your tears and your feelings of lack of self-worth. That also gets used. And there's a rebirth that's in process right now. I don't know who told you a rebirth was going to be easy. I mean, like, think about it. Imagine dying, coming back to life. Why would that feel like a swim in the river? And the state, this is the hangman, which, I mean, just even judging by the name, it's quite an esoteric concept. There's kind of like space in between the old and the new. And then you have this other dimension that I'm talking about. Check how it is. It's so mystical. You've got the Empress, you've got the Justice card, you've got the Nine of Pentacles, you've got the Ace of Swords. It's a completely different energy. This energy is much lighter. And that's why you may not be privy to it, because you're still being held down by the heavy energies, and the emotions that you are exuding because of the heavy energies are being used in the furnace of creating a path to this, to all this like light energy. So again, I don't know if you know this, but like, and I don't know why this is, but like sometimes, not all the time, and it's not with all people, but you guys seem to be in this part of the game where sometimes, in order to awaken certain spiritual connections, especially to like the higher frequency ones, these moments are used. These moments where you are feeling as though you've hit rock bottom. These moments that where you're in this dark night of the soul vibe and you feel like you can't take any more of that. That's what is used to keep the fire burning so that you can create this type of energy or this version of yourself in a more material way. So basically, pain is used to unlock certain connections to higher frequencies or to unlock certain abilities within you. I'm sure it's not the first time you're hearing about that type of concept, how people access these hidden high frequency parts of themselves when they were in like a lot of emotional pain. And that's actually what's happening to you right now, because like I said, you seem to be connecting to these quantum origin versions of yourself. Like You're awakening something inside you that has been asleep for a really long time. And so, as much as you feel like I'm just fucked, I'm not doing anything right at the moment, like, again, at the same time that you're doing that, this is happening. And I guess this reading is happening right now so that you can start leaning towards more of like the other side, because that's important. You have to be able to touch it. And you're doing that just by watching this reading, by the way. Like, just by allowing my words to, just by allowing yourself to hear my words. You guys, there's so many surprises that are waiting for you guys on the other side of whatever it is that you're dealing with or going through. You guys are connected to guides and entities that you never imagined. You've been so attached to the human condition game that it didn't occur to you that there would be something outside of that, that there would be something outside of the karmic cycle. But there is. And what you're going through right now is the birthing pains of bringing a higher frequency reality into life. Things that seemed like they were just things that previously seemed like they didn't have life, like they didn't really represent anything, like they were just objects. Like this, for instance. Like, you're going to realize like those things mean something, and there's life behind them, and there's like things that were drawing you towards certain things this whole time you didn't even get it. Like, some of you are children of the sun. You're like, Zanne, what the fuck is that? Like, well, you're about to find out, because you have a certain origin that connects you to that. Some of you are children of ancient Egypt, and you found a pathway into activating those parts of your blueprint. Some of you are descendants of oracles, of certain sects, not these pretentious secret society things you find today, like the ones that those pretentious like things, like what they are based on. Some of you are descendants of masculine mysteries, feminine mysteries, or sorry, like descendants of people that were involved in masculine mysteries or feminine mysteries. People that found one another and created groups in order to further their knowledge, reach into parts of divinity that people had never dared to before, because they could. Because why not? Ganti, what is this all for if we cannot explore? Some of you are descendants of royal houses, both spiritual and physical. And there's certain energetic things that you inherit that you must be taught how to manifest into this world. And then some of you are something else completely. Something not known. Something not spoken about. Except to the people themselves. Something ancient. Something so beautifully, advancedly put together. Allow your pain to come. Allow your fear to come. And I'm not talking to the whole world. I'm just talking to you guys. And to you guys, allow whatever this is, let it consume you. You will remain. This will pass. You will remain. And the version of you that remains is going to be forever changed. You're going to have access to parts of yourself that you never imagined. I feel like you'll finally understand like all the things that I talk about. I could go on and on because I be like that. But it's never that kind of party. So that's what I have for you guys. If the reading resonated, please like, share, and subscribe. If you want to book a personal reading, all the information is in the description box. If you want to book a mentorship session, all that information is also in the description box. Later.